Hello, 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 Seminole State family. It is Nicole from the library and
Information Jason. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
we are here for another Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. for a research rally, whether you're watching live, which nobody's watching live. So,
Well, nobody plus a million. Nobody plus a million. That's the head count.
Okay. Or if you're watching on the replay, if you find anything in this video that's useful to you as a student, go ahead and share this video, even to a student at another college. So we're here providing assistance. Thank you. For students. Today specifically, of course, we're always willing in here to help students and provide assistance. But today we are talking about 7 ways that you need to stop playing yourself when you're doing these research papers. You think you're cutting corners, or not even cutting corners, but you think you're saving time and energy. And we are here to tell you about a few things that are going to help you out, because this is what we do every day. That we see this every day, time and time again. So we see what works, what doesn't work, and we're going to share those things and enlighten you today. It's going to be fantastic.
Right. And just as a precursor, just as a preface, if you are, listen carefully, if you are indeed playing yourself, stop. We invite you to just stop playing yourself. Right, Nicole? I mean, that's brass tacks there. That's right down to it. Stop playing yourself. Okay, here we go.
All right. So number 1, we've got pick an interesting topic, not an easy topic. Now, in previous research rallies, we have gone into aspects of how sometimes you might have to narrow down a topic that you pick for a research paper, or expand a topic for a research paper. But that's a separate thing, I think. And that's something that a librarian can always help you with, of course. But starting off, don't just pick a topic because it looks, sounds, seems, or you've heard from other students that it's easy. There are certain topics you can find more information versus less in, like the databases and even online. But you want to pick something that's interesting to you, because first of all, it's going to be easier to research the thing. Okay, to research the topic, easier to have an opinion about it, to explore it. You're going to have to do all those things. So pick something that's interesting to you. Okay, you might not be interested in doing a research paper. You have to. It's your assignment. But the topic for the research paper should be something that you are quite literally interested in. Like starters.
Stop playing yourself. Just stop. It sounds like you're playing yourself. You pick an uninteresting topic, and maybe pick something that aligns with your pathway, your career field. But I would recommend, if that's your A pick, have a B and a C, have a backup plan just in case. But something that's interesting to you. Maybe you already have a frame of reference, a stock of knowledge in that topic. But the research personal experience, correct. Research can take twists and turns, and you're like, why did I pick that topic? Well, maybe you have a B or a C, but always have that conversation with your professor. But I agree. Number 1, pick an interesting topic, not easy, because easy, according to who? You haven't done the research yet. You think you know, but you're playing yourself. Stop that.
All right. Number 2, if you can't talk about your topic, you can't write about it. So what we mean by this is you picked a topic that's interesting to you. You've done some research on it. Have you read through your research enough where you could sit down and explain to me or anyone that doesn't know about your topic? Can you literally talk about it without looking at notes, without looking at the computer screen, without looking at your printouts or your whatever Google files that you sent to yourself from the databases? You need to know the information. It needs to be simmering up in your head to the point where you can speak freely and fluently about that topic before you can even sit down and actually start writing about it. Because if you don't, you're like, okay, I got my research articles. Okay, this is my topic. Okay, I'm going to start typing. Okay, what was the thing? No. Because you're going to spend so much time trying to be like, wait, what is this topic about? While you're trying to also write it at the same time. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
Right. Another way to say what Nicole is saying is you pick your topic, it's interesting to you, and then you're like, bro, I know this. And you just start writing and writing and writing, but that isn't the assignment. Usually it's research, or as I've heard recently, research. I don't know where that came from. I always said research. Can we break that down for a minute? Is it research or research? Anyway.
I mean, tomato, but I like research.
Research?
Research.
I thought it's research. See, depends on where you're from. But back on topic, you always want to look at the information, try to absorb it, and then what we're trying to do is we want to make sure that you're using that to reinforce your argument. So you need that evidence, right? A lawyer has to go into the courtroom with some evidence to present to the judge and the jury. So don't just write it.
The lawyer isn't like, and the thing,
Correct.
the thing, and the thing. No, he's talking fluently about it because he knows it. It's up here, so it's coming.
Or she.
Oh.
Everybody's lawing these days. Everyone's a law.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that's number 2. If you can't talk it, don't write it. Is that what it is? Is that what it was? You played yourself.
Yes.
You played yourself. Okay, number 3.
Okay, so number 3, write fast, edit slow.
I learned this somewhere along the way, somewhere in graduate school. I just always use kind of and that's really where, again, I'm writing all my stuff down. I'm thinking of this. Oh, I could do this. I could do that. Blah, blah, blah. Then meticulously edit that down. See the difference? Even the pace and the tone? Like, that's kind of my approach to it. And what do you think, Nicole? That's the way I do it. I do blah, 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 blah.
I think that the hang up comes when, because I know this was my experience. It was like, oh, I got to start writing it perfectly. Like once I start typing the paper, it's got to be, that's the final form. It's got to be perfect. No. Just get your ideas out quickly, because it's easier to chop and dice and get stuff out of the way than to like drudge through like trying to make it perfect step by step, sentence by sentence. Something that and we discussed this behind the scenes before we came on live today is, I don't know if people still do this, but I used to handwrite papers and then I would type the final version. And sometimes actually, once I had handwritten the whole paper, I'd actually have a friend type it, because I knew at some point I had a friend that was a really fast typer, and that saved me time because I could handwrite and just like, like all the way through. Okay. But I couldn't type fast. So that helped me write fast by handwriting. I don't know if that's something that any student, especially young people that are so used to typing. We just asked a student today, do you ever handwrite anything? She said, no. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Right. And I think it comes in different sort of waves. Like, I journal. I've been journaling for, I don't know, a billion years. And so I'll write that way. But when I'm doing my assignments, I do want to type it out this way. And again, we're talking about, what if you're taking 4 classes, 5 classes, 6 classes? What if you transfer to UCF or FSU or UF and you want to get good writing in and time and effort, family, Netflix, friends, all this stuff, the gym, skipping the gym, watching Netflix, you're probably going to want to type everything out. Wouldn't you agree,
Hey.
Jeff Nelson? From
Someone say the gym?
Yeah.
Hi, talk about the gym.
Hello.
We have a special guest, everyone. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse. People just pop into the show.
All my boxes back there.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
repping with the library shirt. We like it.
Yeah, it's
Rep-
Wednesday, so I
Yeah,
have to rep it.
represent.
Listen, Jeff, we're talking about we're telling people to stop playing themselves. 7 ways to write research papers faster and easier. Tips from the library side of things, not necessarily the writing, well, kind of the writing the paper, like the ASC can help with. Okay, I'm sure you're familiar with the Academic Success Center. And right now, we just finished up with number 3 and we're headed into number 4. Okay, so pop in as you will, to comment of what you think. And you were a student at one time, so you should know, right?
I was.
Okay, so number 4, write your intro paragraph after you write your whole paper. Listen, the intro paragraph, which by the way is pretty much half of one page, the intro and the conclusion of your paper amounts to 1 full page. Now that's 1 whole page. If you've got a 5-page paper, that means that's already 1 page taken care of. But do not try, I would advise you, do not try to write the intro first. Write the paper, the body of the paper, and then the conclusion and the intro will write themselves, because the intro is basically a lead up into, hey, this is what this paper is about. And you might not really know it until you write the thing. So don't stumble through the intro before you've actually written the whole body of the paper.
Yeah, and again, if you're doing a research assignment, really look at the information and then start writing that down. How are you going to do the intro and the conclusion? I mean, what, were you just going to go to the gas station and buy some gas and you don't have a car? Like, what are we talking about here? So you really need to start looking at the information that you've gained from the research, and then you go, oh, now this fits, and then it becomes a Tetris game, right? A puzzle. Then you're like, oh, this goes here, intro, body, conclusion. 3 major points in your body, right? That kind of that's my approach.
And like you're saying, if you have to add something, like if something changes about your paper, like that, you might have to change the intro because it might kind of Right. And this is a segue
right.
into number 5.
Well, I was going to say that
What?
one piece
Geoff?
with the intros, it's kind of that old, it's a trap from high school students, I think, where they were told, write your thesis in your 3 points. That's your paragraph, your first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, and your conclusion of that 5-paragraph essay. And that's kind of a myth. And if you start from there, you're going to have like a bad intro into 3 bad paragraphs.
Well, and on that too, Geoff, you're right. And then what happens is people will write it. Oh, I have my intro, my conclusion, and then it's like, oh, I'm going to smush some research in. I just need to find some sources and then smush it in. So once again, like these approaches aren't going to have long-term results. You're playing yourself. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 5. Number 5.
All right.
Johnny 5.
So this is kind of connects to that. Okay. There are times when we find ourselves with let's say that's a 5-page paper. So now we only know we need to write 4 pages because the intro and conclusion are going to be the 5th page. Maybe we have 3 solid pages and you're like, I need 4. This paper needs to be longer. I felt like I did a good job of like outlining it and everything, but I need more. Do not, please, I would advise you strongly, do not try to research new information about your topic or related to your topic to put into that paper to beef it up to be longer, to be like the length it needs to be. Do not, please try this. Try looking for more info about information that's already in those pages that you've written. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Go back to your sources that you already have. You know, you might not even need new sources. Go back into the sources you already looked at, that you already used, and find more information about what's already in your paper, please, because
yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when you put it into like a job interview scenario, right? You want to talk about why you should be hired or why you want the job. You don't want to, oh, you know, in the 3rd grade, my sister, she kicked me in the shins. Like, what are you talking about? You're on some crazy topic. Stick with, right? I mean, this happens all the time, and we're all guilty of it too, because we're blabbering. Like, stick with the topic, and then just keep. I always use this, and everyone kind of yells at me. They're like, "Why? Another one, DJ Khaled, another one." Here's another reason. Another reason. You just keep hammering home that thesis statement, that topic, and don't go away. Don't go somewhere else because you think it's clever. No, stay with it, or you're playing yourself.
It's perfect. I was saying, it's a quick way to get lost in the sauce, to say,
right,
I've done all this great research, now let me find more because I'm freaking out because my paper's
and usually at the last minute, right? Yeah. It's usually like not a week ahead of time. It's like the night before, and you're like, I need.
Well, and to the benefit of the student or the scholar, they're trying to add more to it. They want to widen the scope to show the bigger picture. You know, if you're talking about a city and then a state and then a country and then the globe, but just stick with number 5. Add more info, not new info, to a too short paper. Anyone get that? Too short? Rapping? We played.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was taller. I wish I had a girl in the hood. I was taller.
That's Paperboy, the ditty. Huh? That's not too short. That's Paperboy, the ditty. Nicole, you just played yourself. You played yourself.
I just played myself on live internet.
Live internet.
Okay,
yes, that is Paperboy. That is Paperboy, the ditty. Not to be confused with Paperboy from the Atlanta show. That's a completely different character. But anyway, Too Short was a rapper from Oakland. Jason, I know my music. Anyway, back to you, Nicole. What's number 6?
All right, number 6 is apply MLA or APA formatting after you type the whole paper. On many occasions, I've seen students get started to type, and then they want to do the margins, the indentations, the page numbers, all that stuff, whether it's ALA, MLA, or APA. They want to do it in the beginning because it's an easy thing to check the list. Like, well, I did this part of it. Right. No, do not do it up front because the formatting you put in could get like kind of bumped around and weird. It doesn't work that well at the beginning. Do it at the end after you have typed the whole paper out. Don't try to check that off the list first. Wait till the end.
But, and a big but.
A big but?
B-U-T, one but.
Like them.
That was Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I was going to go there, and I'm like, I'll let Geoff go there.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is don't lose your sources in that mix, okay? Yes, you're going to apply MLA or APA after, make sure everything's formatted, but don't lose your sources because we always get students who come in and say, oh, I can't find this source. I had it, and I lost it. So either and we're going to get into Google Docs or get into Word, but either put it on the side as a comment or either just, again, write it all out and leave it there and edit, maybe even make a duplicate copy. right? Just your sources for one, and then what you edit down. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and we can help you, or the ASC can help you, but don't lose the sources that you found. Don't lose the money that you have. Don't lose it. That's your money. That's your sources. You played yourself. Number 7.
All right. In 2019, we did a survey of dozens of students, and we asked them, do you like the library? Why do you like the library? Why don't you come to the library? And multiple students told us, I love the library. It's great. I just don't have time to go to the library. And I believe you, but I would like to tell you today that if you make the time to come into the library or meet with a librarian, even online, and have a librarian help you find your sources when you're at the beginning of the research paper process, I promise you that time will be well worth it. You will save time because you won't be fumbling through, oh, I can't find what I need. What's this? Like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the professor said I need more, blah, 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 blah. Bring your assignment to a librarian, have the librarian help you find your sources up front. I promise you, it's like spending the time to save the time. It just is. It just is.
Yeah, and that service is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a good service. We also have a text, right? You could chat, you could text us. I'll drop the text on the ticker here on the bottom.
Text in the ticker.
So the chat is the address. You can also text us. If there's you send us a smoke signal, if there's a carrier pigeon, write it in chalk outside of the library. Whatever we need to do to get the message across, we're here to help you. And what we do here, and Nicole and I were talking to students earlier today for Lunchberry. We're getting ready for Nightberry here in a little bit. The students were saying, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that." And Nicole and I look at each other. We're like, how did you not know that? But that's the way it is. We have to keep reiterating these services because we're here to help you. This is a student support service, and you are the student, and we're here to support. You played yourself.
That's right. I was saying, I don't know if someone's feeling kind of a nervousness about it. Don't, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed about asking for help. I used librarians to help me find research 2 weeks ago. So right after the hurricane, I was looking for research relating fitness to levels of anxiety. And I found an article, but I couldn't access it. I couldn't figure out how to actually, I knew the author and the title and I couldn't find it. And I used the lib chat on seminolestate.edu.
Yeah, 24/7. And it's a membership. You can come as much as you want, like the car wash membership. You can come as much as you want. Is that how it works? But that's how we work. You can come and ask a librarian to help you find sources. It's not like you just get one go a semester
right.
or a class.
Right. And these are any of the services, right? Destination graduation. If you want to go to the gym, we got Geoff here on the line. You want to do some rec sports. What do you got going on? You got pickleball happening these days. Pickleball's a big thing. So any of these things.
Pickleball's by request. Whenever anybody wants it, the net's right there ready.
That's what I'm saying. These sources are available for you. So we're talking specifically about research, but we're also talking about how to succeed at the college level, right? And that's what we're talking about because we don't want to play ourselves, right?
All right. And we got one more bonus one. Like, I feel like we kind of discussed
bonus one. Sorry. Bonus one. It sounds like that would be appropriate. Anyway, use 365 or Google Drive.
Yeah. Like if you didn't already know, because if you're a student or staff or faculty at the college, you have access to Microsoft 365, which is an online suite of all the apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, your email, your school email is in there. And so if you use the online version of Word and 365, it's cloud-based, so you can't lose work. The only time I've seen people like lose work or run into issues is if they open the same Word document on 365 on like one PC and then also on their laptop or something, like, and then it's like a parallel universe and it just explodes on itself. Okay. But like we helped a student today and she was using Google Drive. That's what she wanted to use. And it is cloud computing. She's not losing her work. And 365, you can send it to your professor, I guess. No, not easier. I don't think it matters, but just use cloud computing is the bottom line.
And a lot of the databases that we have, that's the URL scrolling along the bottom there. I also dropped it in the chat. That information is available on the college website, seminolestate.edu. You just put in 365 and you can get it. But when you're researching in the library databases, a lot of those databases link directly up to either your Google Drive or your your 365, right? Your Word, or that's what your OneDrive is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I would recommend doing. But make sure to get into these study habits now. Again, especially if you plan on transferring, even if you're getting a certificate here or just getting your AA or AS and you're going right back into the workforce, you're gonna probably have to do some assignments at work and write some stuff down. So why not use this? And I'd
Never
sign
too
up
early to up your
immediately.
game.
Access, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Publisher, OneDrive, Outlook, Excel, all available for you when you're taking classes. So yeah.
Now, Geoff, do you have we allowed it for one bonus, but I'm sure we could get Jason to do the bonus sound effect again. If you have
bonus.
If you have another tip that you would tell students to make writing research papers easier or faster.
Yeah, I think mine kind of relates back to tip 3. It was something that I got really good at when I got my master's degree, was getting as much as I could down early. And sometimes it might be one sentence that was going to be the kickoff of a larger paragraph. And then, hit return, start the next paragraph. Maybe that's 3 sentences, hit return, and keep going, and then fill it out and go, and then a lot, and then as fast as can be, and then edit slowly. I know the process, I'm sure, is different for everyone, but just even having one line to jumpstart my memory as I was re-relating things to my research was always excellent. Okay. It was a really, really good technique for me.
Nice. And
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You played yourself. You played yourself. You should have jumped on it. You played yourself. No, I was just going to say, if the 3 of us took a trip and we're going on different places, we're all going to meet at the airport. The television show.
Are we going on a trip?
Yeah, we are. We're going right to our office. We're going right to Nightbury in 10 minutes. But it's the same kind of thing of like, we'd all get there a different way, but we know our way. So that's what we're trying to do today, is trying to make sure that, do you know your way? Do you know how to write? Do you know how to get the assignment? Do you know how to look at your calendar, make sure that you know exactly when the first draft is due, when the sources are due, when the annotated bibliography is due, and when the final assignment is due? Because once again, we get students who come and go and I didn't know, I didn't have a plan. I didn't even know I had 365. I didn't know any of this stuff. And going back to the writing fast and editing slow, that's my way to do it. But it's worked for me. It might not work for you in that way. And some of these things you'd be like, what are you talking about? As long as you have a plan, that's what we're talking about today. Don't play yourself. Have a plan. We're just here to help. We're just here to facilitate and point you in the direction that we think is helpful for you.
Ooh, I think I have one other little one.
Okay, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Oh, hello.
He's got one more bonus.
That's pretty good. We got to clip that one.
I know. We do.
As you are younger in your career, as a student, or even as you get further along, if you find research that speaks to you as important, and especially important when you're in bachelor's programs or master's programs, be sure to save them in your cloud computing. Because those are things you can relate back to. So, for instance, in my master's thesis, I used some of the same sources I'd used in other classes because I thought they were so interesting at the time. I wanted to expand on them. So, you've got the cloud computing. I still have a Google Drive folder filled with all of my master's just sources, just PDFs of articles that I had pulled and annotated myself and those kinds of things. So,
Jeff, that's why we're BFFs with you. That's why you're a honorary librarian.
Honorary.
One of the many reasons.
Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. We realize that we're going to be coming up on finals here soon. We've been grading some, not grading, but looking at different papers in the Spotify study sessions that we do every Wednesday. Students are coming in looking for sources. Make sure that if you look at the assignment, make sure you know that it's going to be MLA versus APA, right? If you have a choice, make sure to stick with that. Don't do one source MLA and one source APA. Like, don't play yourself, right? But the librarians are available to help you. And I believe, Geoff, we do have an invitation for you. We usually do our rally voices, and I believe your voice is very different than our other voices. So we'd like to. Let me get. I got it. Here it is.
Glasses Rally. He's hiding in the background over there. Hi there, it's me, Glasses Rally, and I'm excited that you sat through this research rally with me.
It's so weird. It's so weird.